Yeah. That'll be the whole podcast with Craig Roney here. Welcome to Once Upon a Tangent with our guest, Craig Conant. You may recognize him because he's everywhere.
Craig, what's the first thing you want people to know about you?
Oh, I don't know. You know,
wild
what's up?
question.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it's coming in hot, man. I just got here,
What's
man.
the first impression
What
you have?
I don't
religion
want
are
any
you?
homework. Don't make me think.
You guys can't see it, but Craig's wearing the
You think
nicest pair
I
of
just-
True Religion jeans underneath this.
This isn't-
Underneath
I don't
this
wear
hat.
True Religion. I said the band Bad Religion. He goes, oh, like the jeans? I'm like, no.
Yeah, we all are dumb little farts here. But
got
Craig's
denim on the
a,
brain.
T-Star.
Craig's a stand-up comedian. He's absolutely fucking hysterical. He's also
funny, I guess funny.
he's
Funny.
also
silly.
my good pal.
I love you.
I just love you. We're both lesbians.
Yeah.
We both are big lesbians.
Rock on.
Actually, every show Craig and I have done together, we've been like, this. Craig is also a lesbian.
I am. And then it never hits, and we still keep doing
Wait,
it.
what was one time I
It
said
all-
something, I butchered something, and you came
you
up.
butchered it, and I butchered
Yeah,
it, and we
so
both butchered it. She's like, I'm gay, and I'm like, she said, I'm a lesbian. I'm like, I'm a lesbian. Then everyone's like, he's making fun of her. I'm like, no. I'm like, we planned this in the green
We're
room.
friends.
If
And
maybe you could
it
do
never
the bit,
works.
Maybe you could do the bit next time, but have a slideshow of like
Yeah.
memories you guys have
Yeah.
shared, so everyone's
Now
like,
we're
oh, look how close
I
they
should
are.
be wearing his merch. He should be wearing. I don't have
Remember
merch.
when we did Minnesota?
That was fun.
With Sadie, and we were just growling the whole time. And she's like, you guys just make noise.
Yeah, we literally shared a hotel room and it was so fun. We were like
with my
little-
girl- it was me and my girl and her, and my
so
poor
fun.
girl, we were just like Tasmanian devils.
We were
like,
we were like hyper little kids at a sleepover that would laugh nonstop and like we were
Like in a hotel room
Yes.
for the first
Yeah.
time.
yes.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly think that you're
Who could do a
one of
flip
the-
from bed to bed?
you're one of the
I
few
just drove her.
comedians
Who can
I
put
can
the
like
most
share a
robes on at
hotel
once?
room and have fun with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Because
You want to hit your head on the wall?
you want to hit your
Me
head?
too.
Yeah.
Ah!
I think our hyper level is the same. Is the same.
Okay, man.
Is the same.
That's a segment. We touch each other's knees at one
Oh,
point.
that's nice.
Yes. we
Tickle
touch-
fight.
Touch-
touch-
Tickle
Tickle
fight.
fight.
Tickle
Tickle fight.
Tickle
It's a very visual podcast.
Yeah, we went to the Mall of America. You're going back to the Mall of America
Yes,
soon.
this Thursday,
This-
April 7th to 10th,
Fuck yeah.
Mall of America.
We don't know when this will
House
be
of
released.
Comedy.
House of Comedy. Which one?
That one.
That one.
That one.
That one.
That one.
This one.
Hello.
Craig travels literally all over
I'm
the place.
tired.
He's all like
Always
everywhere
tired.
the fact that he's even here. He's probably not here. He's just like projected. He's actually on stage right now.
I
in
am a
Ohio.
hologram.
He is a
Welcome to the
hologram.
simulation.
He's a fucking hologram.
Bill Gates fucked me.
Bill
I don't
Gates
know.
had sex with you.
I meant like through microchips. I don't know. It was a bad riff. It was a bad riff. I'm a hologram. You know.
He's
I
at
don't know.
Instead of condoms, he uses microchips.
Yeah.
Get out. Okay, so this is a storytelling
We
podcast.
can't all win, guys.
And
Craig,
Craig's
has
got
Audrey, has Audrey told
Oh,
you
a
anything
story.
about the podcast?
Which story?
Oh, have I not told? Did I not tell? I never
I
tell
didn't even
anybody
know
the
that till
premise.
right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
People just come in and have no idea what the podcast is because I just don't tell them. The
We have
premise.
we have a tickling segment, but not a briefing segment.
You know, so we it's a storytelling podcast. So the guest has a story. Danny will have an internet story, and I'll have a personal story.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we will ask Wolf a question. Whoever gets closest to the question starts with their story.
We're gonna do a numerical based trivia question,
Oh, that's.
and whoever's number is closest gets
Yeah,
to
if you
start.
pull a card from Trivial Pursuit.
We had Trivial Pursuit. We lost it.
Like last time was how many dolphin species are there? How many?
How many? How many
17.
do you think there
Yeah.
are?
Oh,
How many?
like
I said
500.
44.
Oh, 500. That's
Yeah,
a lot.
I guess that was
I
wrong.
could not.
44.
I could not find an internet story, so I'm also telling a personal story.
So that sounds good to me.
It's gonna be a real personal pod. It's gonna be a real personal pod. Guys, I can't hear you. Guys, I can't hear anything.
I did do Craig's podcast one time and watched it back, and we did not say anything real for
I
an
heard that.
an
The fans
hour and a
said
half.
that.
Craig, do you want to plug your pod?
Yeah, community service podcast with Craig Conant.
It's so good.
Pod crossover.
Lots of laughing,
Yes.
like joy. It's one of those podcasts where you just it's going to give you bursts of joy.
Yeah.
A lot of them are a little too serious for my liking.
Too serious.
Too serious.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the numerical question, numericals.
I drilled again. I drilled twice on this podcast. This is ridiculous.
It's okay. People drool. I drool all the time. Usually I burperoni. Do you know you can make
I love burperoni.
you can make money by burping on OnlyFans? Like this girl's making $8,000 off her burps.
Well, yeah, because she's a hot girl. Everything works when you're a hot girl. This girl just just burps. She's also in a G-string, but she just burps.
The girl's
If I
actually.
burp,
She's
I'm
in
gonna
the
get
girl's
$6.
actually in a
I'm gonna
football
get
jersey, but-
$18 a month for. Anyway.
Anyways.
And that girl turned out to be Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
Wolf, can you give us a numerical-based trivia question?
Numerical. What
This is
what
Wolf's
what
least favorite part.
what
though.
mathematics? What's going on here?
Yeah.
What's up, Most?
Did you bring a protractor? You're gonna need it.
I did.
Yeah, did you
I
bring-
brought my Texas
I have
Instrument
a T-square you can borrow.
TI. Remember those? They had the games.
Oh, the
TI.
comedian T.I.?
Oh God,
No.
I
Do you mean
haven't.
stand-up-
Texas
do you mean
Instrument.
I've been
stand-up
seeing some
comedian
wild
T.I.?
things about Ti.
Terrence. What's his name? Terrence Ignoramus.
Yes.
I heard Ti
What's his
ran
real
the
name?
Comedy Store by like 20 minutes.
That's rude.
Yeah.
But what's his real name? He goes by his real name. I was trying to make it up and be funny, and then
Tip
Is-
Harris? Tip Harris?
Is that it?
I think it's
Tip
Tip
Harris?
Harris.
Tip Harris.
Tip
That's a
Harris.
good name
That's a good
too.
name.
He's got 2 good names.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What house has the most stories?
House? What house?
Oh no,
What house has the most stories?
Tip Harris.
Do you mean?
Tip Harris.
Do you mean if these walls could talk kind of stories, or do you mean building stories?
I mean building stories.
Okay.
But also,
What story has the
That'd
most
be the White
tales
House.
to tell?
Wolf, you got one?
Yeah. Okay. So Denali is the highest mountain peak in North America, right?
right. We all knew
know
that.
Yeah.
We all knew that.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the elevation above sea level in feet?
Oh.
Oh, 11,000.
That's what I was gonna say.
Wait, really? I'm gonna say 15,000.
I was gonna say 11,000 too, but I can't now.
Is that it? That's
I'll
probably the
go.
answer.
What is
Audrey,
it?
what'd you say?
15,000.
I'm gonna go. I'll go split the difference.
$1.
I'll go 13.
$1.
$1.
Lowest bet, $1, please.
It's 20,310 feet.
Oh, so I got it.
I
Closest.
was close.
You're so close.
What's how?
Wait, what'd you say?
Wait, what did I say?
Where does sea level?
She didn't even remember her own number.
Where does sea level
What'd you say?
start?
You say like
I said
44.
13,000.
13? Oh, you're
Yeah.
above.
We're just gonna have you go first, I think.
Then what did she
You're
say?
the closest.
I don't
bro.
remember what I was.
Audrey said 15.
She
I
said
said 13.
50.
Craig said 11.
She said 50. Audrey,
Audrey, you're
wins.
closest.
I'm the closest.
And you don't even remember that you said. Let's tell her she just said 1,000.
What did you start thinking about after you said 15?
What do you mean?
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Rocks.
Oh, all right. I'll tell my story.
Audrey, what do you got for us?
Okay. Oh
Wait,
my
what does
god.
the story have to do with that? What just happened? What the fuck? You say Denali 15,000. Tell a story.
Well,
What
I
is-
like how you
is
said
this-
that like we all knew that. You're like, so we all know that Denali is the largest mountain in North America, right?
But the
No.
story, so the
No,
story,
I didn't know that. I thought it was
Anyway.
souped
So
up
the story,
GMCs.
the story,
That
or the
question made me feel
question
bad.
is
Chevrolet.
whoever tells their
GMC
story
Denali.
first. So whoever gets the closest to that number has to go first.
It's just a fun
I'll
way
tell
to
it-
decide who the order.
Is it? Oh, okay. Is it, this is called the ADHD podcast?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, that's
It-
perfect
it
because I
is-
don't know what's happening.
Yeah, this is very ADHD.
We couldn't focus on our premise, so we spun off to another premise.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
How long did the ADHD podcast last? I
like-
can't talk. Did you
like-
see what happened? Did I have a stroke?
You also-
I had to stroke.
Craig, you have ADHD.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, big
I
time.
also dropped on my head.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
You're
do?
gonna work with what God gave you.
100%.
Thanks, God.
Hey,
I'm
God.
funny.
Do you know how many times I will be like cleaning my kitchen floor and then get up and then the corner of my and I'll just hit it all the time.
What are you hitting your head on? The corner of what?
my dishware cupboard.
Yeah, you just slam her head against her own wall of her own home, and I get it. I've done that so much,
my
and
la-
you're just like, why?
Yeah.
Why did I do that? Oh,
My last
just
commercial
hold your
audition.
breath; it'll go away.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got concussions nonstop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. CTE.
Anyways,
am I
that's
right?
been our
CTE
the
podcast.
Am I
But
right?
that's been our podcast. Thanks.
CTE.
It's a CTE
Experiment.
podcast. We do the same episode every single time.
It's the same.
fantastic.
That's so fucked up.
These,
Do it
I
every
want to
time.
scoot my
Every
seat
time.
in,
I
and
probably
they're
have
like
CTE at
these
this point.
chairs are like roly polies. These chairs are like
From football, for sure. Every time I lose my keys, I'm like,
pogo sticks.
Yeah,
It's
CTE.
starting.
Yeah, CTE
They
is no
bounce.
joke.
Oh,
Oh.
excuse me.
There we go.
Yes.
How are you?
All right, Audrey,
Okay,
you ready?
so I'm starting because I got the closest to the question.
Okay. Mountain Island.
ready.
This story is very short, so. Short. Ah! and that was the story. That was it. Craig, your turn. What was your favorite part of that? Comment below your favorite part of that. So this is another camp story.
Audrey.
Camp?
Audrey, we're
I
going to have to
almost got
cut
canceled
these
for talking about
out.
my camp, but I can't tell you why. Wait, no, but this one is actually not.
You got
I
canceled?
no, I almost did. But
Audrey's camp stories are
Lesbians are getting
horrifying.
canceled. What's the world coming to?
exactly. Lesbians are canceling lesbians. Okay, so
I'm excited for this one.
It's a lesbian-y lesbian world.
it's a lesbian. It's a lesbian. Ian. No.
Too far.
Let's be Ian.
Cancel her. Get her.
Just for the wordplay.
Cancel. Let's all kill each other off.
That's all killer. Wait, that's a very no. We can't do that. That would be barbaric. But I was saying,
No
if
kidding,
there's
it's
always
happening out
comedians on the
Like a
island who could
comedian
you kill
purge.
off?
Like a comedian purge.
Yeah. Hey, comedians, let's all cannibalize and destroy each other.
Honestly.
Let's kill each other from the inside
What
out.
would happen if literally it was like a bunch of comedians were traveling in a plane? It was full of comedians because we were all going to a comedy cruise ship or something, and then we crashed, and then there's only like 20 comedians on an island. Would we survive?
That'd be a funny island.
That'd be a funny island.
That'd be a funny
But
island.
it-
I'd have
it
the
also-
pocket knife, so
it-
Everyone's just
I would
doing
be able to
bits.
I'd be able to fish and
Yeah.
hunt.
I feel like it would be dramatic for sure.
Yeah, I would be
So
Lord
we,
of
were
the
we were
Flies.
all on a plane
It
on the
would
way
be-
to a cruise ship.
Yeah,
Why couldn't the cruise ship have just sunk and then we ended up on the island?
because then there'll be
She had to put a little
passerbys.
extra on it. You gotta put a
It's
little
plane
extra.
crash. I don't even know if I'd
Shipwreck.
I don't think
Because
I'd
then-
want a
Wash
plane
the
crash.
shore.
Yeah, wash the shore.
If you crash in a plane overseas, the likelihood of survival is slim to none. So
Yeah.
the ship sinking and you floating ashore is much more logical.
Mhm.
Oh, that was.
Is this what it's
Oh,
gonna be
that
like
was
on the
good.
island with you?
Yeah.
With you?
Yeah.
I wonder on an island.
The
is
schnozberries
very-
taste
this
like
is-
schnozberries,
the
man.
schnozberries taste like schnozberries. So, anyways, I was a camp counselor, as we all know, because all of my stories about camp. But one day I had to lead the kids on a 10-mile hike.
That seems too long.
It
That
was
seems a long
it was
time
a
for a
whole.
Nino.
It's
10 miles. I
okay,
could barely
guys.
keep my
my
opinion
opinion
This
to
was
myself.
a
That
fit
seems too long.
camp, but it was so there was and I told you the counselors were like 16.
What kind of camp was this?
Exactly.
What-
It was
what was this? Some
a
kind of
work
walking
camp?
camp?
No, it's an all-girl camp in Brown County, Indiana, and the oldest counselors are like 16, and then we only have like 2 adult supervision, and they're
This
never.
is just children.
We're all just children.
Children
And it's like the
making
camp has been
children
passed
walk
down
around.
from everybody's generation to generation. So everybody there has had someone in their family go. It's like a kind of a. You can't find it online either. It's like a. Cause
That
So
sounds,
everyone
that makes
is-
it sound worse.
Google
Everyone's a
pictures,
little,
but-
a little off
they
their
have
rocker.
no internet presence.
Yeah, yeah.
they're for protection. It's an all-girl
The
camp.
state doesn't know that they're there.
Well, it's an all-girl camp with like
Is that
no
illegal?
security.
Or something?
I feel like because there's no security,
Oh,
like
so they
anybody
need-
could walk in, and we're just a
Oh.
bunch of kids, and the oldest
Oh.
counselors are like 16 to 18.
Gotcha.
It's not great. Pretty much Friday the 13th, but I was leading a 10-mile hike with 2 other counselors, and it's like an all-day thing. Everybody, like, we have like tents and stuff, and like you pack snacks, and like everybody camps out by like you like split it. So we're doing this, and you're following a trail off of a bandana. Everybody's knob-on bandanas on the hike have the trail map on it. So we're walking and we're going, and a counselor, I won't say her name, says, "Do you guys want to do a weed brownie?" And I said, "Not really." And then I did it anyways because I fall into peer pressure.
Sure.
And we took the 3
The
counselors.
story's got a lesson in it.
The 2 of us did the weed brownies, and then the other one did like the smallest amount. But we got so high, we didn't know where we
How
were.
many kids you in charge of?
There's like 10.
Okay.
We didn't know where we were. We were like, we have to call back to camp because
One
we,
for each
we
mile.
are.
She's getting canceled for sure.
I know.
You
None of
should've- you
these
should've heard the
stories
other
end
camp
well.
stories.
None of
You
these
should've
stories
heard
end
the
well.
other camp
But the
stories.
girl who
You had to
the
cut
girl
them
who
out.
barely took the other half, she was able to like be coherent, but she was like, I'm just directionally challenged. And I was like,
Oh no.
so she couldn't help follow the map. Then we had to call back to camp.
She's
'cause
like,
we
I'm not
have an
even high. I just don't
emergency-
know what West means.
Yeah.
I just
yeah.
don't even know what that is.
Well, we have an emergency phone with us, and they were like old phones at the time. You just like barely get any service or whatever. We can't get a hold of anybody, and so we literally just sitting there, and then like this one girl was just trying to guess, and then eventually when things got better, we were able to call back to camp, and my uncle was like one of the handymans,
Uh-huh.
and he got on a John Deere and just directed us on the right pathway. He's like, "You guys have fun." That was a bad story, and I feel like I'm gonna get canceled for that again. I feel like every story with my
What's
can't.
cancelable about that?
Yeah, you're right.
No, you were a child watching
You're 16.
child.
I was and the people.
just
By
wanna
the
say
way,
child twice.
you have to be above like 12 to go on the hike. So these are like last year campers.
Yeah,
we're not like
you were
we're not
all,
with like babies.
Right.
But yeah, don't
You
do
have
that.
10 babies.
We
on
have
a
10 infants in
You're
wagons.
taking 10 babies on a
We're
10-mile hike.
We're just like strolling these
These
little babies on the
babies.
wagons.
I just yeah, I probably would have done the same. I say like I was about to say like I made every bad decision there is, but I would not have done that one. But then I would have for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Weed.
Mm.
At that age?
Nom. Yeah.
Especially
For
at that
sure.
age, yeah.
And then I would have
Sometimes,
been like, oh no.
do you ever get asked a question, you're like, I know this isn't a good idea, but I feel like I should say yes to the story for later. Does that make sense? Like,
Mm.
this isn't going to go well, but I'll be able to talk about it later.
Oh yeah.
don't-
Like, this will be a fun experience.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes to the experience, not...
This will be something material or something.
Not even that. Not even less... it's less transactional, but this will be an interesting experience. It's not going to go well.
Yeah, I don't know what my brain does with the things where I go, this is a terrible idea. And then I go, whee.
Yeah. Kind of like that. That's a better way to
Yeah.
simplify it.
Yeah.
I'm just too impulsive. I just go. I just like do it.
Yeah, and then you're like, why did I do that?
I know.
Why did I jump off the roof? Now my shoulder's lower than the other one.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What? And now I got another concussion. I have so many
I wake up with a headache when I sleep on my side. All right, Craig.
All right,
you
Craig.
Work our way down the line?
No,
Wait,
Craig's
what
turn.
story do you want? I have like 19 million
So you
stories.
can tell maybe your I was like your saddest one.
Tell us that story you know. Doesn't even have to be about you. Saddest story you've ever heard.
No.
Sad story?
No. That was a joke. Do not do a sad story.
It's funny though.
Okay, then do it.
And it's gay. It's a gay one.
Oh, I like that.
Homosexual.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No.
Audrey Bird.
Oh my god, and it.
Audrey burps.
I worked at Trader Joe's forever,
Okay.
and I
I'm
This
so
feels-
nervous for the sad part of the story.
me too. This feels weird because I do this on stage, and I hate saying stuff I do on stage on a podcast. You know.
Yeah, do
Isn't
do
it
something else.
weird?
How about what
But
was?
like, it's
That's
a good
okay.
story.
Yeah.
I think we'll lean in.
Yeah,
So
you have a new.
yeah, dude, I worked at Trader Joe's so long that one of my coworkers died, and this was pre-COVID
I don't
before
think
it
I've
was
heard this.
before it was trendy. You know.
I've not heard about when your coworkers died.
As a
Stop.
bit. You see what I mean? It's weird saying a bit
No, it's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
a
yeah,
podcast.
That's really, I
landed.
like that.
Um, But this
Before
is
it
a
was
true
in
story.
vogue.
This guy was an OG, and he was beloved by the company. Everyone loved this fool. He was just charismatic pimp motherfucker. He was a big, large,
Oh,
gay dude. I say that he was a bear, you know,
who's bad?
and that's an important factor in the story. I hate that I even just
never
said
heard
that, but you know what I
this.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but I've never
it's-
heard this.
It's
You're
tepid
painting
time.
a picture.
Yeah.
And then, so we closed down Trader Joe's, and this fool, we clock in, and he'd always hug me. He'd be like, "Where's my hug, Mister?" You know, I'm hip with it. And then he would pinch my booty,
Okay.
and I'd always give him a couple squeezes because I knew he was on his way out of this world because he liked to party, liked drink, liked smoke. He was a large, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you didn't have to be a clairvoyant to see what's
It
coming.
wasn't one to be the other.
Yeah, and so I'll be like, go ahead, get some squeezes, bro. I like women, but you could grab my booty. But then he would always be like, let me touch it, let me see it, you know. And then I'd be like, hey man, come on, dude, like go, yeah. I'm like, go stock lettuce, bro, get off, you know. And then we go, you know, stock the shelves and shit, and then we work with this one kid. I'm not gonna say his whole name, but because I always say it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get in trouble.
We name
And
names.
he
in
didn't
this
have, you know,
podcast.
he's not in the business, so that's rude to say
Sure,
this name.
Right. Yeah.
Audrey doesn't
100%.
know.
Yeah, we gotta stop doing that. That's
I know,
bad business.
I know. We do.
Audrey told a story about a guy with a tiny penis and has since referenced his full name on every episode since the story.
Oh my God! You're gonna make a man commit suicide. You realize this, right? Like that's
do you
the
say,
magnitude.
I accidentally say a lot of names. All the
Stop
time.
it! It's bad. I do the same. That's why I'm saying stop it.
This
I
is
learned the
a-
hard
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Name
Okay, I'm gonna
podcast.
stop.
So, but stop it. Anyways, this fool we work with, he was a real crybaby little bitch, and he used
Okay.
to always t-ball cry in like every day, you know. And then day one, you're just like, you know, we have a heart. I'm like, hey, what's wrong, Kevin? And the next day, you're like, oh, you'll be all right, and then the next day, you're like, man up, Kevin. We all gotta stock fucking lettuce, bitch. Like,
Right.
get to it. Get like we're sick, and I mean t-ball cry on like lay on the floor.
What's T-ball cry?
like tantrum, like a toddler, like lay
Yeah.
on the
Right.
floor and
Yeah.
cry, and you're like, hey man, you're an adult. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyways, I say all that because at I did this all in the wrong order too. Yeah, it's
How
weird
did he
on
die?
the podcast.
Do you have to share it?
He just was unhealthy.
Okay.
I don't really know.
Heart thing or
But so
something.
now we're at his funeral, and then he was so loved by the company. He used to be a hip hop choreographer and a teacher at a Montessori school,
That sounds awesome.
and then he got bad knees. He had to go work at Trader Joe's with me for the benefits. You know, like,
The benefits are
maybe
great.
this is a sad story. You know, I'm just kidding.
I know.
And then
it's kind of traumatizing.
because I just say all that because
hip-hop
he
teacher
was
who
beloved
lost
by
his
so
knees.
many people. So it was his funeral in Inglewood at the funeral right there on Manchester and Boulevard of Champions, right by the Forum Prairie, and then it's so many people out the door. They had to have 2 services for him. And it's like mainly Trader Joe's crew members, company people,
Right.
and family. There's more Trader Joe's friends than
Uh-huh.
family. It's crazy. And his family was conservative Christians. So they said, one of them said one, nasty thing, may God have mercy on your soul or whatever. And we're like, I was like, hey, man, he's already dead. You don't got to lay that up on, you know what I
Right.
mean? And also, we're Trader Joe's West Hollywood in the heart of Boys Town. It is
Right.
fucking... It's gay up in there,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
It is fucking,
Yeah.
And there's booty shorts up in there. Is all I'm saying on men. And then so I was like, I'm gonna light these bitches up. They can't talk about Dart this way. Oh, I should. It will bleep his name.
Yeah.
And then I go. They open up the mic for friends and family to speak. And then my manager's like, no, because I'm
Yeah.
inappropriate, I'm
Yeah.
a wild boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I had the fire in my eyes. Like, ah! And then they said one more snarky remark. And then as I was employed there at this time, I got fired at a later date from
Sure.
Trader Joe's for the fart thing.
Yeah.
And then that's another story.
Yeah.
And then my manager goes like, go get him. I got the green light, And then I was like, I'll speak.
You turned him loose.
And then I got up there on the microphone in front of all the, and I'm a comic,
Yeah,
and then I just shared this story. I was like, hey, Dart, when we clocked in, he used to squeeze my booty, and I asked if he could touch it. And then I talk about Kevin crying too.
Yeah.
And then in the bit, but it's also true. Like, oh shit, did I just say his name?
We'll bleep it.
We'll
Bleep it.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hard.
We'll
Yeah.
See,
put,
I say
we'll put another name
Yeah,
over
yeah.
it.
and then because
Damn.
I-
Derek Jeter.
yeah. Because homie's crying. You got to say his name. Kevin's crying in the corner at the funeral, and I'm
Uh-huh.
telling the story about him crying at work. And it's just funny because, in my eye, I was like, you don't know if he's crying because I'm making fun of him or if because his homie died,
Oh my
And I'm telling a good story at a funeral. I had all the feels,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And because I forgot to finish that. So Kevin was T-ball crying, and Dart stepped over him and stepped on his hand a little bit, and he was a
Yeah.
big dude. And then Kevin's crying extra. You don't know if he's crying because of his hand or is hers. That was I forgot all that part. And then so I tell that story at Dart's funeral. You can leave their names. I'm not giving full names. Fuck it. And then so I tell this story, and then I say that Dart would pinch my booty and always ask if he could touch it and if he could see it. And I was like, now that he's gone, I really wish I would have let him just touch it one time, And then the Trader Joe's side, was just yeah, And then his family side was like, oh no, just oh shit, And it was fucking awesome. And then I told you I had to light them up,
Of course.
I had to get them.
Yeah.
And then they shut down the microphone after that. They didn't let anyone
Anybody else
speak
speak.
anymore. And then I tweeted because I'm a comic. I was like, I headlined a funeral today. It was just funny because there's so many more people that wanted to speak, and they're just like, okay, we have
Everyone-
heard enough. That is
everyone
enough
cut the
from the
mic.
people
That is so
of Trader Joe's.
I
We are
feel like-
done with that.
A funeral audience has got to be is a captive audience.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
A,
I
that's the
called
ki-
it.
That's a good way to work out material. Everyone's
yeah,
locked in.
Yeah.
Well, people just want to laugh.
We were it had
funerals.
it had all the things. We were cracking up, we were crying, we were we were like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like, I was
I
like,
like the
yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I fucking
What you
said it.
gonna do
I
that?
like when funerals have a like a comedy element because I've been to funerals where the entire time was the darkest fucking
I've been to
thing.
funerals where they're so sad.
Oh, dude,
And it's like, God.
I'm fucking Mexican,
Hey
bro.
guys, can you fucking quit taking yourself so seriously?
Every funeral on my Mexican side is a roast. Everyone
Oh
is
really?
laughing.
That sounds
Great.
so
I was
fun.
filming on Instagram. My uncle busting out Tupperware, taking all the food home. I was like, look at this fool. His wife just died. That don't matter. He's still hungry, you know. My mom and aunt have been kicked out of like 4 funerals for laughing. They can't
That's
stop.
amazing.
Shut up.
I swear
That's
on
the
my
thing,
life.
though.
That is
People laugh at
amazing.
Swear to
funerals.
God. Yeah.
Do you laugh at funerals?
Yeah, it's I don't know how to handle
Because
it.
you're uncomfortable?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Ugh." It's like when you're not supposed to laugh. That's when I'm
That's
like,
when things are the
That's
funniest.
when things
This-
I laugh too.
But I also like the visual of his actual family and then his Trader Joe's family, and you guys are just like fighting over the aisle.
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually so.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know what
funny
I mean?
act out.
That is.
It's Marcy.
It's
I
funny.
w-
Like fighting across the aisle.
You're fighting with his family. He's gay. You don't even like
Yeah,
gay.
you don't even-
I'm his friend.
Yeah,
I
you-
sucked his
he-
dick.
he tried-
Marcy. Marcy. Such
He was a
funny
bear.
argument. Yeah, that shit was. I mean, it was a sad day, but it was It was
He was
good. It
young.
was a good. Like those are the good ones. You know, those funerals where you're like,
Right.
it's all. If it's pure sad, come on, man.
Oh, it's the worst.
You gotta have
Yeah,
good memories
those
to tell.
like too soons, those abrupt ones. You're like, "Ugh."
Yeah. I feel
Fuck
like
yeah.
if
Yeah.
there's not a funny story to go with any of it, and it's just. bleh.
I like the stories to come with the funerals, but I like that your manager just turned you loose. Like kind
Yeah.
of took the dog off the leash. And
Yeah.
was like, go get him, Craig.
Go get him, Craig.
Go get him,
It's
Craig.
a good time.
I feel like the last funeral I went to was the Catholic funeral, so dramatic or whatever. And the only time people laughed is because I got so dramatic because I won't take communion at the Catholic church because of they won't let gay people get married.
Oh, I
And
thought
so
it was because you were
when
gluten free.
and I'm baptized, so when you want to reject communion because you're not practicing the Catholic faith, you do this.
Oh
And
my
then the
god.
priest- And it's literally
Straight edge.
all
No.
my cousins,
X-Men.
well, I did it like so dramatically. All my cousins and aunts are just looking at me, and I literally just go up to the priest and I went, "Oh!" And then and he was like this, and I literally whipped away from him, and everybody's like, "Okay, shut the fuck."
You should have been like, I'm gay.
I'm gay.
Ugh. Suck my dick.
Oh shit! Well, Craig, that actually I've seen you on stage so many times. I've never heard.
That's
that
mainly
story.
on the road. It's got to be a long set, you know, because it's like
Yeah.
a 6. It's funny, but it's like it's an emotional
It's got a
roller
lot of
coaster.
Are you
heart
doing
in it.
hours now? An hour?
Yeah, you on the road, fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because a lot of times people are still doing like 45.
Yeah, I do like 50, 55, so maybe okay, not a full hour, but pretty close.
that's damn
Not
near.
never. I mean, if it's a really rowdy crowd, I'll do 45.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've done over an hour, and that's weird. It feels cool.
Yeah, I bet. I'm
Like
doing my
an hour
first.
Why
10.
rowdy
hours,
crowd
so-
do you do shorter?
Cause it's hard. You're like,
You-
I'm over this. This
Yeah,
is so
oh,
hard.
stand
You
there
are
for an
I thought you
hour.
meant
volatile.
rowdy is
Yeah.
like fun. Like fun.
Oh,
like-
sometimes rowdy's fun, and sometimes rowdy they're shit faced drunk. They can be having a good time, but they're just like, they're literally like, hey, this fool's funny, you know?
Right,
And you're just
right.
like, oh
See,
man,
I-
like
Yeah, but
I'm right here, bro.
That was good. That was a good one.
I think
Fuck.
it's
That was really
it's
funny.
so weird that you have to stay because a lot of comedy clubs isn't there like a contract where you have to stay on stage for your allotted time.
You must do at least bare minimum 40, 45,
See,
or they might
that's
be angry. But like, let's
so
say
hard.
like some of these clubs, they have you do like 3 shows in one night, and that sounds cool. But it's so hard. By the 3rd show, you're like, I don't know what I've said,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
3 shows.
But
on a
the
night is
first show, they'll
fun.
let you do a short. You know, they'll be like, just do 4 because they gotta clear the room,
Right,
reset
right.
up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do 3 of these. I'll do 40s, bro.
Yeah.
And it then becomes a fun game to time it perfectly in your head. I like to play that.
Right.
Like, let me do 40 and then not look
See
at
how
the
close
clock.
you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the clubs have clocks. Those are my favorite. But
Oh, the clocks are the best.
but that's very rare. That's like 10%, you know.
Mm.
the clocks are
The
so
clock, but I
helpful.
like to do it without the clock. It's just like a fun game. You can get really accurate. It's really wild.
See, that's
Your
so
brain
cool.
just this one. You don't even. I don't
Are you doing
calculate.
different material too?
Sometimes, yes, it's you're trying new material, you're working it in, but sometimes it's just hard.
Yeah.
You're like, I just want to do my act because
Right.
it's like when you're up there for 50 minutes plus, it's just like I want a beginning, the middle, the end. Like I'll do like a chunk up top, like okay, I did the chunk. That's a block of time. Now I can fuck around.
Right.
If I fuck around up top, I'm just like, oh shit. But I still do it all. Like I just like this is a dumb idea. Let's do it, you know. And I'm just like, oh no, just sweating 10 minutes in, doing new material. Like I fucked up.
It's like saying yes to a
It's
weed
just-
brownie when you're
I
on a
don't-
hike.
Yeah, I'm still new at it. I've only been headlining a year.
I know when we did that. Weren't you brand spanking?
Yeah, that was yeah.
That was a wild weekend with
Yeah.
everything that had happened and all that. That was an emotional weekend.
Wow. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Well, we won't get
Yeah,
into
we're
that.
we're talking about one dead guy. I want to talk about dead
Yeah.
friend.
I'm doing my first
I was
45
just
minutes.
weeping the whole weekend.
And I'm kind of shitting my pants.
What?
I'm doing my first 45 minutes in New York. I'm kind of shitting.
Oh, it's amazing.
On the Caroline's Breakout Artist Series.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm kind
Just
of.
do it.
I know.
Just
do
do
it.
all your shit
Yeah,
and stretch it.
and slow it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's okay to go on tangents
I was
when
like,
you do
should I-
long sets, and it's okay if they don't hit, because you're funny enough. You're like, well,
I was like,
don't normally say that. I thought I was gonna hit, but tonight, no,
No, no.
not tonight.
not tonight. Not
It's funny in my head. God damn it.
It's funny, my
Oh.
Are you
And that
excited,
just
Audrey?
added a minute.
Yeah.
And then you should
Do
do
that
40
40
more
more
times.
Did you know I've done that before?
Oh,
when I first
that
started
didn't
stand-
work.
I did the same bit twice.
Twice in a row?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was the ADHD bit, so everyone thought it was part of the bit, and it wasn't. And I
Oh, you didn't realize you were doing it again?
I listened to my recording.
Audrey, that's so funny.
That's a nightmare.
I listened to my recording.
What
and
if
I
they
said,
thought she was like a genius, like an Andy Kaufman?
What?
But then they realized, no, she's just autistic.
Why is everyone mouthing the words? Are these all my fans
No,
from
no.
TikTok?
Are these all my TikTok?
Why is everyone lip syncing my jokes?
TikTok fans coming hot. The TikTok lesbian community has been showing up.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
They should be showing up for you too.
Hey,
You're lesbian.
TikTok.
Lesbians love Craig.
That's how I just went like this. Audio listeners, that was a visual moment. I just shrugged my shoulders.
You're just a shoulder shrugging guy.
Only for our visual baby.
Danny, if you have your story, because we only have a little bit of time left.
Okay, guys, I got two stories, and I'm going to let you choose between them. Do you want a story about an Uber ride? It was a Lyft ride. Do you want a story about a Lyft
Lyft.
ride, or do you want a story about a wedding?
Oh.
So that was our decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Guys,
Craig
first
and
of
I
all,
always
first of all,
shout.
thank you.
Do you think people think that we're constantly hammered and we're not at all? When we people think we're probably fucked
Fucking
up.
vodka,
People probably
man.
think we're fucked when
I'm
Craig and I
getting my
rip off-
BPA.
When we scream and do these noises, people are think that
I
we're
could
like,
see that.
Rough.
rough.
I
Rough.
can see it.
Rough.
But I also really like it. I'll tell you the story about the wedding. How's
Yeah,
that
tell us
sound?
the wedding story.
I'll tell you the story
That's
about the
what
wedding.
my rough meant.
Yeah, I could feel it.
Yeah.
I could feel
That's
it.
what my
Yeah.
They were
birth
rough.
was.
You're
Yeah,
intuitive.
yeah.
Okay, let me tell you a story about a wedding. This is also one I can't name names for.
Just
Good
name
luck.
them.
It's
We've been
really
name-
hard.
Tell a
It's so
story.
hard.
Tell a story with you can't name any of the characters.
Well, you can't just
Maybe
do
I'll just
first
make
and
out
last
names.
names. I think first names are fair. There's 59 million.
I feel like the only I feel like some comedians I will never say their names, like first and last name, or even first. And like,
I'll just rename everyone's story
Yeah,
really
comedians
common
maybe
names.
not so much.
No.
Everyone's story is
Yeah.
gonna be
That's
called
a little-
Muhammad.
Regular citizens. It's like
Yeah.
who the fuck is gonna be Sherlock Holmes and track this down?
yeah,
He's actually in my story.
Oh,
Yeah.
he knows Sherlock.
he knows Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
It's gonna be a good one.
Okay,
knows
guys.
Sherlock
There's gonna be-
RDJ,
look
love
for
him.
clues along the way.
Okay.
Okay. So I went to
Come on, badge.
a wedding. Is this relatable? Have you guys been to weddings? This is gonna be tough.
This is.
This is gonna be tough, but I'm up for it. This is gonna be tough, but I'm up for it. I'm just gonna tell Wolf the story. I'm just gonna tell Wolf the story.
Oh, okay, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
I'm
man.
ready to
I'm
listen.
sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry.
actually
See, this is
ready
like
to
church.
listen.
This is like a funeral.
Yeah, this
You know what I
is-
mean?
I'm
They're like,
ready to
oh,
listen.
you
Hey,
listen, listen.
Yeah, we got
Okay,
it.
okay,
All right,
okay,
go,
yeah, I'm
go,
serious,
go,
serious,
go,
serious.
go,
Oh,
go.
bring it on.
You know.
I did a show at a restaurant in Chicago, and this guy threw a knife at me when he didn't like one of my jokes.
What?
This is.
Did you catch it? Did you catch it?
easy.
Did you catch it?
Catch
What kind of
cut
knife
my
was
tongue
it?
out of my own
Ah.
mouth.
What kind of knife was it?
It was a restaurant knife.
Oh,
steak
I thought it was
knife.
like a pocket
Not
knife.
a steak. There was
I would have
switchblade.
kept that shit.
There was a
Thanks
butterfly.
for the
He threw a
protect.
butterfly knife at me. Threw it like a frisbee.
I love butterflies.
All right, guys. I went to a wedding. Any thoughts? Any more thoughts? I know.
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
I'm just gonna tell the story in waves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll tell in checkpoints, and then
Yeah.
you guys can
I'm
do whatever you want in
listening.
between.
I'm
You're at the wedding. So far, you're at a wedding.
So far, I've walked into the doors of the wedding. That's as
Who's-
far as we've made.
Where's wedding? Benedict Cumberbatch and who? Who
It
got
was-
married?
I went to Princess Diana's wedding.
Oh my
Okay.
God, she's dead now.
She's not.
They killed
Yeah,
her.
She's
everyone in my
not.
story is
No,
dead. She's not, guys. She's
She's
not.
alive.
Don't worry,
The queen had
Okay.
her whacked because she's pretty.
guys. I went to my cousin's wedding.
Okay.
Okay, I went to my
Mhm.
cousin's wedding. We're related.
Oh,
I went to my cousin's wedding. It was in southern Indiana,
Oh.
and her husband.
We're both from India.
We're both from Indiana.
I
It's not
know.
a
That's why I
coincidence.
looked at her. Is that what this is? Some type of
This is
Indiana
This
Stinkerton
is an Indiana
podcast.
podcast.
Is
This
it-
what
we
you
went
call
to
it?
college
The
together.
Indiana Stinkertons.
We could call it the India.
The Indiana Stinkertons. I don't know if that captures
What we're going
what
for.
we're going for,
Okay.
but
My
I
bad.
like it.
I'm sorry,
No,
I
it's okay.
interrupted.
I went to my cousin's.
brought nothing
I
to
went
the
to my
table.
cousin's
Mhm.
wedding. You guys can't see this, but Craig's been touching my knee this entire.
Ooh, Dot rubbed
Greg's-
off on me.
Greg's-
Sorry, ladies. Yeah,
Sorry, Sadie.
it's a fucking party.
Craig's had his hand on my knee this entire time. and I like it.
Hands on the merchandise.
So I go to my cousin. I go to my cousin's wedding. All right. You know what? Maybe we just end the pod here.
No, we're good, bro.
Maybe we just
I'm
end the
having a
pod
good
here.
time. I'm having a
Sadie,
good
you got
time.
me, you got me.
Hey,
stories-
hey.
No. This
Hey.
story's long, and I just don't know.
You
if
should
we
have
can
chose a
get
short
there.
one.
I
Hello,
should've
Helen.
chosen short. We have 7 minutes.
7 minutes. 7
All right,
minutes. I
Wolf.
did 10.
Wolf.
I did 10.
Oh, yeah.
Hands up.
It's a-
I didn't do nothing, officer.
Wolf,
I swear.
Wolf, light me at 2.
Let me.
Light me at 2.
Light me at 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Light me
We're
at
so ready
2.
for you.
Oh yeah.
You went to your cousin's wedding and then
Mhm.
you've been Kumadatch.
Yeah, Cuba Day. A Cuba Day. Cuba Day. You know what I'm saying? Jean-Claude Van Damme. Remember that shit?
Danny's gonna go
Yeah.
and just blow himself up because he's that kid who can never get a story out because the other kids are just. So
Raw, raw, raw. Because we're fucking animals. What are we?
You're,
Oh,
we're
man.
grizzly.
We're cartoon
Oh,
characters.
man.
You're
Yeah.
a cartoon character.
You're a car.
I'm a cartoon.
Peppermint
character.
Patty and
Pepper Ann. Animal.
Tasmanian.
Tasmania.
And Danny,
You're Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Sleepy from
Just sleepy. Just tired.
just tired. Okay,
Yeah,
so you went to your
This
cousin's
is a
wedding.
cartoon character who's just worn out.
You went to
He's
your
like, I'm
cousin's
just
wedding.
tired of you guys
Who's
right
a
now, to
cartoon
be
character
honest.
who's just trying his best.
Okay.
So you went to a wedding.
Guys, I went to my cousin's wedding. No matter what, this story's not going to pay off, so I'm just going to lean in.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lean in.
Leah,
I go to my cousin's wedding. She's marrying a man. His dad is marrying.
Gay.
She's marrying a man.
Maybe reference that now.
Her husband to be's father is going to perform the ceremony.
Oh, okay.
Husband
I like
to
where this is
be.
already
Husband
father.
to be. Husband to be's father.
Father-in-law.
So the guy
Why don't you
she's-
say father-in-law? Why are you
Because they're
trying
not
to make
married.
me a
Because they're
tongue
not
twister?
married yet.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So
They're
pre-
not
4
married
minutes
yet,
away.
Craig. We're
Oh.
at the wedding.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
We're at the wedding. This is, right now, this is just some guy. We're at the wedding. I go. My cousin's getting married to this guy. His dad's performing the ceremony. Are you
Mhm.
following me? So her father-in-law to be is now performing the ceremony,
Love
and
that.
he's about 100 years old.
Oh,
Ooh.
no.
He's about 100 years old. But guys, that doesn't stop him from making every pop culture reference you can think.
Oh, my
of.
Is he
God.
funny?
Mm,
Was it also dancing with the line of disrespectful?
It
'Cause it was in
wasn't.
Indiana?
It wasn't yet. He was
Okay.
about 100 years old. We were in this old church in southern Indiana, and I think he referenced Katy Perry at one point,
Stop.
and he.
Love her.
She's great.
She's great.
She's dressed up as a giant cherry at the Vegas
I
show.
love cherries.
That's
I love cherries.
true.
Have you had Chobani cherry yogurt?
Oh.
So good.
With some
Anyways,
nuts.
back to you.
No, it's okay. That was an important detail.
Danny goes, no, it's
That was important.
She said cherry. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, so he's making all these pop culture references, and then he goes, "You know what? You two remind me of? You two remind me of that movie. That movie, Pretty Woman."
That's what about a hooker.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said in my head. We have a huge family. I have like 60 first cousins, so there's like 200 people at this wedding. And he goes, "You two, just like that movie, Pretty Woman." And everyone, a hush fell over the crowd. No one was talking anyway, but you could feel the hush fall deeper. And he goes, that movie, Pretty Woman. I love that movie with Richard Gere. And what's her name? Julia. Man, what's her name? He can't recall Julia Roberts' name, so he's just going, Julia. What's her name?
In the middle of the wedding.
What's her? He's performing a wedding for 200 people, and he's going. What? She's in Ocean's 11. What's her name? Julie something.
What's the bride doing?
Julie waiting. Also, Julia Roberts to be referenced as the girl from Pretty Woman. Already funny. He goes, Roberts, Julia Roberts. You two are just like that movie Pretty Woman with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, where they meet each other under weird circumstances, and then and he details the entire plot of Pretty Woman. And he goes to the he's like, in that last scene where he climbs the fire escape and he says, "You saved me" to Julia Roberts. That's what this is like, because you saved each other, and that's why you're like the movie Pretty Woman. And I thought I was going to explode from laughter the entire time, and he just moves on. He goes, "You guys are just like Pretty Woman." No one laughed. He wasn't being funny.
Stop.
He was just like, "You guys are just like that movie Pretty Woman," and then he detailed the entire plot of Pretty Woman. The only detail he left out is that she's a prostitute. And then the ceremony ends, and I look at my dad, and I'm like, wasn't that crazy? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's like, I wasn't paying attention.
He goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
I was watching Audrey and Craig bark in the corner. Rah, 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 rah.
Craig's just freezing.
I tune out at all that shit.
Craig and the Trader Joe's squad just jump in.
What's up?
We're here.
We got some milk chocolate covered peanut butter filled pretzel nougats.
Yeah, I'll have some of that with some of that. I like that story. You know why?
thanks.
Moral of that story is hire a professional, you animals. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people?
He was a retired minister.
Oh, my bad.
Do you guys feel like if you're
retired? Keyword, retired.
He'd been out of the game.
Active.
Do you guys feel like as comedians, so I'm a maid of honor, and I have to do a speech. As a comedian, it's a lot of pressure. My sister was like, "Well, make sure you have a cordless mic." And I was like, well, it's not like I'm going to be doing a set.
I'm not doing crowd.
Doing
work.
act outs?
Yeah.
I need a headset so I can do act outs.
Yeah, just speak from the heart. It'll be funny.
Yeah. No, but don't you feel like there's like an unspoken, like, oh, that's the comedian?
Yeah.
The pressure.
I gotta ask to officiate a wedding.
Yeah. This was my best friend. And I wrote that. Oh, I think we'll just end there.
There's the light.
Andy's the most flustered.
I got asked to officiate a wedding last night. My friends got engaged last night, and they asked me to officiate the wedding. So I think I'm going to be...
But you're going to be good at that.
He'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be
we'll
good.
be back.
They
don't ask to us
I'm going to talk about Pretty Woman the entire time.
Go fishing.
Fishing. I love fishing.
You love fishing?
Hello.
And I'm going to say anybody who has been listening to this podcast probably turned it off as soon as Craig and I started.
No,
don't
turn it up.
I don't think so.
Turn it up. You want your Monday motivation?
It's on full
It's
blast.
Sunday.
It's Sunday.
Day of the Lord.
Dance on your taps.
Dance on your taps. Stand on a table and dance.
Wolf's gonna quit you. You guys, this was fun.
Wolf's been writing his resignation letter this
Is there any
time.
final send-off words that we all have?
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
If I've learned anything today during this episode, it's be your fucking self.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Let people touch your booty and be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah, I had to give him a good thrill.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was good. He knew that was that straight boy white meat, you know?
I like when we don't get to hear a lot of our comedy friends' bits they do on the road because you guys don't do them here. So I like that when I get to hear bits they do on the road that we wouldn't hear here.
Okay, I'll bust it out here.
Yeah. I want to hear more sometime.
Bust it out.
It's Julia Roberts. Her last name.
Julia
her last
Lewis.
Her
It's
last
Julia
name,
Lewis.
Her last
name
name's
is
Roberts.
How about some Dreyfus?
Okay, we're ending.
Oh, a
on
little
this.
Yeah.
We're
a
ending
little
on a
Richard
bad note.
Dreyfus.
All right.
That's okay. Let's be funny to end.
Okay.
Okay, just
Okay.
funny.
Well, we'll sing a send-off song together.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
please.
no.
Our famous send-off song?
And then we'll each
Yeah.
finish it.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. We really loved that you were listening.
Yes.
Was that a setup?
What
that a
kind of setup was that?
Hey,
Yeah.
we tossed you a softball, Craig.
Please like
Craig
and
just
subscribe.
knocked that one out of the park.
On to you, Tiger. I'm done.
Ollie, just a nice little
Alley-oop.
alley-oop from Audrey.
Alley-oop. Thanks for the
Guys, thank you for another episode of Once Upon a Tangent.
Thanks, Craig Conant. And you guys, we'll see you
Roberts.
next time.
Julia Roberts.